This is Plastic Adventures.
Welcome, everybody, to the Plastic Adventures podcast. I'm Steve, this is Doug, and you are finding yourself in the middle of another episode of the Toy Mill. Uh, Actually, very timely. We managed to get this thing together just after the San Diego Comic Con, which is just like a smorgasbord for plastic crap.
Oh, it
Uh,
is.
all kinds of like reveals and cool stuff that happened before the show, during the show, a little bit after the show. So we're just going to kind of dig in and talk about some of the cool stuff that we got to see over the course of the last like 5, 6 days.
Absolutely. There was a lot of reveals that always come out of the Hasbro universe, right? Like Hasbro is one of the biggest revealers for San Diego Comic Con when it comes to toys. But we also got some Mattel reveals too, which some of them are very cool, especially in the Masters of the Universe neighborhood of things. But
Uh-huh.
some other things that might surprise some people. So let's kick it off.
Great. What do you got first there, Maynard?
So the first one I really want to talk about is one I'm super excited about. It's Hasbro related and it's GI Joe related, and they announced Starduster.
Yes. Dude, that was
Yes,
my favorite one.
I know. I looked at that one. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, Starduster, and they got him in his classic colors. He looks. I mean, he's got the jump jetpack. He's got his rifle, and it looks like he's on the Duke loadout of things. So he looks pretty phenomenal. His color, that sky blue shirt that he's wearing, love it.
Yeah, and you know what's really cool is that was kind of a weird design like back in the day.
Yeah,
His blue was a little strong, like that robin's egg baby blue kind of thing. This blue is just like a touch more muted,
yep.
and it looks like you look at what should be an absurd figure. Oh, it's so badass.
It's so
It is so
bad. I
awesome.
know. I
Yeah.
totally agree. Yeah, and it's nice to see him because um he was one he was so when they released him originally, he they went back to the what is it called, the turning head, not the ball jointed head, right?
Yeah, the original one was just like a straight left to right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
And so when they released Starduster, and I guess they did it like in he had three different body types, right? Kind of like was it
Steel Brigade?
Brigade? Was it kind of like
Yeah.
that? Am I remembering that right, or am I having a false memory? Did he have
So
different?
there might have been some different body variations on Starduster. He was just a Franken Joe,
Mhm.
and I want to say that he utilized the airborne head or something, if I remember right.
Well, I thought he had the one I remember is he has like the standard Steeler short fuse head, right? That he
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so on a Duke body with like flint arms and an iceberg like waist and roadblock legs. Like he really was a Franken GI Joe. But I think that's what is like endearing about him, right? He's got all these parts. Shouldn't be one, but he totally is, and he's super badass. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, they finally did it. They gave us Starduster. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love that they're digging so far deep into the bag of tricks. I will tell you what I was not overwhelmed with.
what's that?
I think you know what character that we're getting.
Oh, well, okay, okay. So when I heard that we were getting him, I was like, oh no, great. But then when I saw him, I was like, oh no, this is great.
It's still really hard for me, but
Oh, I don't
they
know. I think that's a
somehow,
great upgrade. Great upgrade.
somehow, somehow they managed to take Raptor and make him less ridiculously stupid looking. I don't know how that happened, but I mean, this guy's like the absolute worst GI Joe
I know.
design.
It's a
Uh,
very odd choice of design, even back in the day. I mean, even as kids
oh
looking at him
God,
like,
he's
what
like
the
some sort of like Wish Condor Man or something, like the bird feather hat thing and the feather accessories and his dumb little glider thing that he had.
yeah. But
Birdman.
okay, but let's talk about the upgrade because it's actually kind of cool. So he looks like he got the Vulture upgrade from um what was the one with Michael Keaton and
Oh, right, that Spider-Man movie.
Spider-Man
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
yeah, with not Toby, the other one.
Tom Holland.
Yeah. No. So but yeah, so his jetpack looks like that. It looks like the wings, they come out, they've got the cool like
It's like a
fan blades,
VTOL kind of a thing.
kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm sorry, I think it looks freaking cool. I put I never thought I'd say this, but Raptor goes into the cool category now because he's just I love his jetpack. I
Fine.
mean, he's still HR. I mean, he's not going to
He
be he doesn't come out of that pile, but
he gets a passing grade, F plus. That's it. I'm not giving him anything better than that. F plus.
plus you moved
Yeah.
up a little bit in Steve's eyes, Raptor. That's saying a lot.
Bad figure. Like the original one. I don't know. Like they've done everything everything they can do to make him not like suck so hard.
Well,
Uh,
I do have to take my hat off to the designers at Hasbro, especially on the GI Joe classified team, because if they can take a guy like Raptor and turn him into something that is pretty badass, they get nothing but kudos from me. And
yeah, everything Classified's touched has been like gold. Even
I
the
agree.
the ridiculous repaints that they've done. Do you want to stay on GI Joe and talk about some little blue jet that they're working on at HasLab?
Oh yeah, the little blue jet. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, the little blue jet that got its 5,000 backers or 9,000 backers in less than 24 hours.
yeah. It's like already hit tier two,
Yeah.
over 11,000 backers.
And I'm
Uh,
happy to say I am one of those 11,000 backers.
I was so close, but then I looked at this wonderful room, which looks so large when we do this podcast, and then you realize that like all that should be in here is coats. Um, I think the Rattler isn't this thing like 36 by 30? It's
It's
freaking
massive,
massive,
man.
dude. It's like 3 feet long and 30 inches wide or something. It's just like
But not only
crazy
that, it's
gigantic.
electronic. It's got light up sounds. It's got well, it's got Wild Weasel in it, which by the way, if you haven't seen him, looks ouch, really awesome. If we can reach a couple of our tiers, we're going to get Baroness and a Gunner.
Yeah,
So, I mean, first tier is already reached. So what are we getting? We're getting the cool patches that are
yeah.
part of that. So yeah, that's everybody knew it was coming, by the way. Or we had our speculations. But
Yeah, there was a spoiler, but we weren't really sure like the scale because they
right.
got Dragonfly, right? And they've
Mm-hmm.
got
Hiss.
the Hiss tank. They had messed around in the O-rings with the Sky Striker, which was a big toy.
It was.
But this thing's like their biggest and most ambitious yet that they've produced. And what is it, $300 or something?
Yeah, it was. I mean, and it's not going to be out for like a year and a half or so. So, I mean, I was like, yeah, I'll back it. I can save up $300 by then.
It's just like crazy awesome. They've really outdone themselves this time, and I'm a huge fan of the A10 Thunderbolt as a jet. But I have the Rattler, courtesy of the one that you gave me, in tremendous condition. And then I have an off-brand like A10 Warthog that's in 3 3/4 inch scale that's really cool. So
Well, you know, you
I
still got
think,
some time to change your mind if you really
yeah,
feel
I
like
don't
you need
know.
one.
It's tough. If I put that in here, I'll be podcasting from the hall.
Podcasting right from the bathroom, Steve.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think we're going to take a pass. The acoustics might be kind of a mess in there. But it was incredibly awesome. That
It was.
Rattler is like nuts.
It was very cool. Staying on the GI Joe theme for San Diego Comic Con, I think in one of our previous ones we talked about one of the San Diego Comic Con exclusives that were going to be available only there was the Once a Man Cobra Commander,
Yeah,
and
super awesome.
luckily I did have somebody who was attending Comic Con for me. And was able to pick one up. So in our future episode, I'll be able to show off the Once a Man Cobra Commander.
You owe somebody a great debt.
I really do. He's my brother from another mother. Actually, I mean he's been with my family for years and years and years. So and they go to San
Is this
Diego.
courtesy of Logan?
No, 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 no. This is a
No.
different one. So this is Gene.
Oh, this is another one.
Yeah,
Okay,
this is another one. My extended family, my extended family.
got it.
So. But no, it's always a fun time when Gene goes to Comic-Con or WonderCon because he always takes his phone and he always walks me around and he takes me to all the vendor places and he's like, "Do you need that one? Do you need this one?" And I'm blessed. I'm not going to say that I'm not because they have looked out for me and have found some really cool things. But he was able
Well,
to pick up one of these for me.
on behalf of grown men who need children's toys, I salute you, Gene. Thank you for supporting our habit.
That's the shout out. Hopefully he watches this with my sister.
Doubted, but oh well.
Who watches this show? Don't you have better things to do?
Yeah, like anything.
All right. What else
Hey,
we
how
got?
about more, Joe?
Yeah, let's
Triple
do
T
it.
tank.
Yeah.
At first when this was announced that they were gonna be potentially doing this, I was really jacked.
Mhm.
And then the image from the slideshow, someone took a picture of the slideshow and posted it, and I'm like, oh yes, yes, Sergeant Slaughter and Leatherneck, and who cares what the Transformer is? I was all about like, oh God, I gotta be there like right at 2 p.m. Eastern time and get my pre-order in for this thing. Ah, I don't know.
Couldn't do it, huh?
I got to the edge and I started thinking to myself, um, I do want that Sergeant Slaughter like bad time. It's the first like Sarge that looks like that, that's carded like that. But I may save myself the money and just try and find someone selling one of those on the eBay because I just couldn't get myself to do it. It's $90. Maybe if it hits one of these Amazon deals where it goes down to like 49.99, like that Megatron Hiss tank,
Or maybe even
maybe.
59.99. That's not too bad either.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it. I mean, you can kind of see in the camera here. There's a boxed
Yep.
Triple T tank with Sergeant Slaughter over there, and above this, which you have a harder time seeing, is there is also Sergeant Slaughter on my Joe wall, and another Sergeant Slaughter, and another Sergeant Slaughter, and there's a fourth Sergeant Slaughter down there in the Warthog that's
Yeah,
there.
but
So
Steve, it's not that Sergeant Slaughter.
it isn't, and it's really good, and I love seeing him as an O-ring again. So, gosh, that one's just like a super maybe for me now. I was really shocked that I didn't hop on the pre-order wagon, but
Well,
I didn't.
it's this. You're having the same reservations that I had about the Striker and the His Tank. I wanted to get those because I wanted Stalker on card. I wanted to get those because I wanted Baroness on card. But I couldn't pay the money for just to get the figure on card that I want and not about it. I'm not jazzed about the Transformers that we were getting.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to like t take a look at the brass tacks, consider that like a nice 3 3/4 collectible like these Hasbro O-rings, figure you're out of 20
Mm-hmm.
to get them, right? Well, there's 20, 40 in each one of those, but then you still got like $50 of ew.
Yeah. What am I going to
Yeah.
do with this? What am I going to do with this thing?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that's how quaint. They're doing kibble like the 90s on here. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, I haven't gotten myself to that point
Well, and
yet where
the other thing that's kind of really kind of messing me up about this particular toy line is they've got these vehicles that already have names. You don't need to combine them with Transformers. Just make a Transformer called the Hiss. Make a Transformer called the Vamp or Striker or something. Don't give him a Bumblebee. Give us a whole new Transformer with a GI Joe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that would have been to me. I would have been like, oh, well, now I'm buying both of these things because those.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you think the Transformers fans would be just as eager to lap it up if it wasn't a character?
Oh, I think they would have been absolutely beside themselves with it.
Yeah. Now that being said, Optimus Prime's happening unless it's totally janked. Like when that comes out, that's happening. But
Well, okay,
I
so
just
yeah,
I
so
couldn't
there's
do it.
Optimus Prime. Real quick on a side note, speaking of Optimus Prime, I don't know if you've heard the news, but somewhere out of nowhere, Power of the Primes Optimus Prime has started making a comeback in Targets.
I saw that. I thought it was a really odd choice. It's not even the best Optimus Prime. It's
But it was a quiet release. Like I didn't hear about this coming. I didn't know this was coming
yeah,
to life.
yeah. There's just cases of them showing up at Targets.
Yeah.
I don't know. it's kind of neat. Like you've got like the little Optimus Prime that's Orion Pax, and you
Mhm.
combine him with the trailer, and it's Optimus Prime. I have one, and I held on to it. It's not the best Optimus out there. I thought it was kind of unique, but
Right.
really kind of a weird one. Like we really should be getting like Power Master Optimus Prime or something back on the
It's
shelf.
it's just it's just kind of an odd silent release. Like you think if they were going to slide something out there, it would be one that people would be like super super excited. And I'm not saying that some people aren't. Maybe some people really are excited about this one, but it just seems like a really odd choice to just kind of, hey, here you go. Here's an Optimus Prime. Not the best one, but you know.
Now, if you want to get excited about something, the Fort Max reissue is out there,
Hmm.
and like hitting the hobby stores. I mean, you're out $200 to
Yeah,
get
but
it.
he's big.
But I got one from a kid whose dad really wanted him to play with Transformers, and he kept it in mint condition and never touched it. And I paid super duper less than that, not even half of that.
Oh my gosh.
So I got one, and it's worth having, especially if you like big robots. But hey, don't say Hasbro never did you any favors. It's out there to
Oh,
get.
that's true. Very true. All right.
Do you want to keep talking about Transformers?
I do because I have a very special one I want to talk about.
Uh, let's start off with the Walmart Optimus Prime reissue.
Sure. Let's start off with that one.
Did you see that in the
Uh,
anime colors?
I did, yes. And there's
Uh,
nothing wrong with that. It looks very, very good.
yeah, yeah. Like even the trailer, they didn't put the sticker on the trailer.
Hmm.
They did it like the cartoon, and they've got the Autobot symbol. Um, that's a really, really cool Optimus Prime.
Isn't
They
it?
did the blue eyes. They did the blue windows. I mean, they've done reissued this mold like umpteen times,
I
right?
know. I know.
Um,
But he
but
looks
what
good though.
they did the white legs, and
Oh, the thighs, the white thighs.
yeah, and I want to say that the bumper is white.
Okay.
Now, what I don't get is the grill is silver. So if you're
Like the silver, like the toy.
well, yeah, it's silver, but if we're doing anime colors, then when you look at the Optimus Prime like animation model, particularly the movie, almost everything that was gray was white in the
Right.
movie, including the grill. But aside from that,
Maybe it just didn't look right. Maybe they were like, it just in the toy, maybe it just didn't look right.
yeah, I mean, I got one on the shelf that I custom made to look like that, but dude, that Walmart Optimus Prime looks freaking awesome. And the box, I would have appreciated straight G1, but it's got like they've done with the Blaster and
Right.
Soundwave reissue, some of the graphics, but that's
It is a pretty cool prime. And if I ever see him on the shelf, I mean, I wouldn't pre-order him, but if I ever see him on the shelf, he might be an impulse buy.
well, that beats the bloody blue hell out of the half an Optimus Prime for full price that they got us on a few years ago.
Yes, yes. And then they just turn around and release the files for giving us a missing link. So it seems like a waste of time for just giving us that half of an Optimus.
Yeah, missing link. I'm thinking about bringing that just so you can see it.
That would be cool.
You need to hold that in your hands to really appreciate what they've done with that. So,
Right on.
couple of weekends I'll be down and I'll probably bring it with me because everybody's like, "Oh, it's just another Optimus Prime." Dude, this thing's like brand new,
Mhm.
hyper crisp. You're gonna see details on the figure you never saw on the
Okay.
originals.
It got me interested. Got me interested.
Level, yeah, yeah, not toy news, but
Oh,
I'm
right.
gonna show you when I come down. What's
But
the one
speaking
you
of
were thinking
Transformers,
about?
okay, so Transformers. This is one that I've been waiting for probably since I was a little kid, right? You always kind of even when we were little, we would be like, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if this was a Transformer?" Or "Wouldn't it be cool if this person did this?" So this one has always been one of those crossover kind of conversations, and they announced that we were doing Knight Rider Transformers, and oh my gosh, he's electric too. He makes sounds, and he's beautiful, and so beautiful that I stopped work and ordered this guy. I was like, people were walking in, and I'm like, hold up, I got something important
Uh, the
to
equivalent to that in my building is this big window where people can observe me like a zoo animal. I drop the shade and I close my door and lock it.
do. I didn't even hide it, Steve. I was like, hold on, you just have to wait. I have to do this. I am not missing out on this one. So yeah, so they showed him off at Comic-Con. People got to hold him. There's some videos online of people holding him in their hand and transforming him. He's a very beautiful bot.
I haven't heard any
That
of the audio. Is it all like kit audio?
it's kit audio.
Oh,
The laser light goes back and forth. You can
oh,
hear the boom, boom, boom.
oh, that is cool.
I know it is so cool. It's so cool. And his legs are blue. He's like wearing blue jeans.
Yes,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, like Michael Knight.
yeah, his name is Agent Knight. But it's so cool. It's so cool. And it was one that I was like, as a kid, would always like was a really cool transformer. Just like I think like the General Lee would be a really cool transformer.
Yeah,
But
I get some logistical issues with that one.
well, but it's a car from a childhood, which I think,
Yeah, yeah,
and it
yeah.
would, and the bright orange I think is just would be cool, even if they took the controversial part out of it and just gave us the orange Charger, called
Yeah, like
or
I
something.
could see it and not associate it with those things, but it's a different time. So,
Yeah,
but yes, it would be very cool. I'd
it
love
would,
an A-Team van.
dude. That would be the other one, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you can see where this line of thinking leads us. Always, wouldn't this be a cool transformer? So we got it. We got the Knight 2000
Oh
transformer.
my God, what if they did Airwolf?
Oh, geez, dude. Oh, they did Maverick. They did the Tomcat for a crossover, and they did the Turtle Van. So I don't see why we can't do 18. All right. What else
Hmm.
we got?
Sticking with Transformers, they announced new Constructicons. Did you see that?
I did not see that. I wonder how I missed that
Okay, they did not show them. And I'm going to take this for what I've read. So please take this with a grain of salt. But they're going to do a two-pack. And I want to say it's going to be like Hoist and Long Haul, the torso and the head.
one.
And that's going to be like Commander class or something like that because it's going to come with all the parts like Motor Master.
Okay.
And what I've read is that it's Voyager figures that form all the other limbs of Devastator.
So he's going to be big.
Yeah, yeah, they said he should be probably about as big as Minosaur, somewhere in that scale.
That's a good size.
So yeah, stand by. I really like Devastator when he's transformed into Devastator from the Combiner Wars. But when you look at some of the individual bots, there were certain sacrifices made on those robot modes to make it work. So like
Okay.
the figure itself is just so radically cool at like 2 feet tall, but this is going to rectify that. I think they're all going to be marketed as Studio Series 86.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, so that's really cool news.
I
Really,
am
really
down with
cool
it.
news. Um, I got one more that's just one more Transformers post SDCC the other day.
Let's talk about that one before we move on to Masters or something.
Yeah, quickly we'll get him out of there because it's niche. Um, I love Lio Convoy, one of
Oh
my
yeah.
absolute favorite Transformers. Leo Prime from the latest series is good. He's small. Looks like Takara is doing a reissue of the original Lio Convoy figure with a few like mold upgrades. So a little bit
Nice.
more like anime accurate.
Is he going to
Sweet
be Vac
figure.
Metal
Dude,
Gold?
not Vac Metal, but it looks really good.
Oh,
Um, I will always purport that a Lion Optimus Prime is what we should have got instead of Optimus Primal the monkey.
oh,
Uh,
okay.
Beast Wars 2 was an anime, and Lio Convoy was like the leader there. And then Beast Wars obviously was ours with Optimus Primal and Rhinox, Rat Trap, Megatron. It just never set well with me that they're like Optimus Prime was this like monkey.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, I
and
get the
then
name. The name's cool. Optimus
yeah, like
Primal. I get that.
you go to Beast Wars 2 and he's this badass white lion.
Hmm.
Um, Super cool. I'm really jacked about it. I have an original. I don't know that I'll be getting this reissue, but I have the original and the version that Hasbro released, the little teeny tiny Lyle Convoy.
Yeah. Still nice. I saw it. I didn't pick it up, but it was still a cool bot.
Yeah, if it's not your thing, it's not a big deal. It's kind of niche. It's weird. So that's it. That's all I had for Transformer stuff. Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe. There were quite a few revelations for that one. Um, so one of the big ones is the Snake Lair was the one that they're releasing for their big set. Apparently, this one wasn't that people voted on. It was between this and Snake Mountain or something like that. And
Oh
I
no,
don't
you
know
had
how
like
that one won over Snake Mountain, but
it was like you had like a tack track in there and
yeah,
vehicles, and somehow weird snake layer that's never been released. Somehow that's the one everybody chooses, and now we get it, and they show it off at San Diego Comic Con, and there's an upswell of from the peanut gallery. You people asked for this.
apparently they did. I don't know. But it does look pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It is a cool set. It has a lot of detail. It's very large. Um, the back of it is actually pretty cool too. It looks like it has a lot of playability factor. Uh,
Yeah,
if you played with toys anymore, right? It's nobody's gonna play with this. It's gonna sit on a shelf and it's gonna hold their other action figures for years and years and years and get dust on it all over the place. So
yeah,
I
like
don't know about it.
it's well thought out, like it's a good play set, but you want this instead of the Fright Zone?
Oh, dude, or I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, well, all
Oh,
right. And that like we had our chance to get the classic van style attack track that
I
would open
know.
up and hold figures in it, and we picked this weird thing.
Yeah,
So I don't
apparently
know.
we did.
What's this thing gonna cost? $200 to crowdfund? I don't know.
I don't remember hearing the price. So, but I would assume it would be more than $200.
I don't I guess it depends on the size because Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain were like in that like 80 to $100 range when they came out.
Yeah.
So at 200, it couldn't be more than that. Now, Eternia knocked it out of the universe, not even out of the
Yes.
park when they did that.
Yes.
Like
And I can
they
believe
knocked
them
that.
when they say the fans asked for this one. I could believe
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Eternia got hit so hard it went into like a parallel dimension of awesomeness. But yeah, so
uh,
I thought that was a little weird, but there were some cool figure reveals.
there were some pretty cool figure reveals, and one of the top ones that I really, really was excited about was the new reveal of Modulok.
Yeah,
So Modulok is part of the Horde. If you watched our previous episode, I got to show off a vintage one. But this one is he looks very like a good mix between an update into what Revelation Universe looks like and when he showed up into the cartoon in the cartoon. And he is very modular, right? Very modular and very articulated. So he looked really, really, really cool.
that's kind of been one that people have been wanting for a long time. We haven't gotten him in Origins.
Nope. I don't know how they would do him in Origins, honestly. Um, because to get him to have the modulation or the modular look that he had before, putting articulation in some of the knees or the arms, you might take away from the figure. So I don't know if we're
Yeah,
going to get one or not, or
it's
maybe
it's
we'll
a
just
lot
get
of that's a lot of tooling. That would be like a $50 Origins figure or something. I don't
yeah.
know
I
what the
mean, because you got
Revelations
what
one.
6 legs and 4 arms, and you've got
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff to put in there. So
Did you see the new Fisto?
yes, and what do you think of that?
Think he's pretty cool.
Okay, right on.
I really do like I love Masterverse. And I love Origins. I think they're both terrific lines. Now, Fisto's kind of a nice update. He's got that little white in the beard.
Yeah,
But the Roboto that they showed off was crazy with all the gears and stuff inside of him. Looks awesome.
he definitely looks better than the Revelations Roboto that was part of the new cartoon. So this one, I think this is the new Eternia Roboto, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's what I think that's the line it's going to fall under.
yeah.
And I'm
I
going to
actually
give it,
really liked the Revelations Fisto because he was very close to the original figure. So I
yeah,
was
so
neither here nor there with that Fisto release, but definitely Roboto. So
yeah, well, like um, whether it's the new one or the old one, we get all the fisting that we can handle out of Masterverse.
this is not a show for children. All right,
This is so stupid. That's like the best joke I can come
I
up
know.
with. But yeah, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to movie Beastman that they're gonna be releasing.
Yep.
Love it.
So they also did some drawing reveals. So they also did a whole bunch of other figures that we probably don't have enough time to go into. But one of the pipeline reveals that they showed was Masterverse Blade.
Yeah,
Yes, very much excited about Masterverse Blade.
really hard not to buy that one. I don't do the full line, but Blade makes me want to buy Skeletor because I got the movie He-Man.
Yep. And I was
Uh,
thinking the same thing. I don't have the movie Skeletor, but now I might need to go out and get that one and Evelyn.
yeah, Big Bad. I think Big Bad Toy Store got a refresh on them. They're like $30 there.
Oh, good.
Uh, so yeah, I was really excited about that one too.
Yeah.
Um, there was like some Snake Men and stuff that didn't
There were
really
there
have
were
me.
some Snake Men. I haven't gotten into the Snake Man origins as much as I thought I might. I don't know if it's because I just don't have the exposure to it. I'm not able to get it, but it just doesn't seem as exciting as a lot of people are putting into it. So, but there are some pretty cool figures coming out for that one.
Yeah. Yep. You got any weird obscure ones that might fly under the radar for some people?
Let me see. I know there was a couple. Um, Let me look in my bookmarks.
I'll give you one while you're looking.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that animated feature from the early 80s, Fire and Ice?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
the cat guy.
Dark Wolf.
Yes, Dark Wolf. That's it.
Yeah, Previews is releasing a 1/12 Dark Wolf, which I think means 6-inch scale.
Hmm.
It's pricey. It's $100,
He looks beefy though.
but he looks so good. The figure
Yeah.
comes with like interchangeable facial expressions, the axe and a bow and all this cool stuff. And for those of you unfamiliar with Dark Wolf, he is inspired by that Frank Frazetta uh, poster where it's this guy with like this wolf's skin over his eyes, and
Mhm.
he's raised up, and I think he's got like a scimitar in one hand or something, and it's a really like a piece of iconic barbarian art that's late 70s, early 80s. Fire and Ice is heavily influenced by Frazetta's works. And it's totally rotoscoped, like He-Man and Star Chaser: The Legend of Orin is rotoscoped. Heavy Metal from the early 80s, rotoscoped animation where they draw over a real actor doing motion. Lord of the Rings, heavily rotoscoped.
Yeah. Yeah. The Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings was heavily made.
Yeah, that one.
Um,
So Dark Wolf kicks ass. He's like a super cool. If you're into that like barbarian fantasy or a Conan collector, it's almost like a have to get him.
mhm.
If you're not a total D&D guy, Dark Wolf is like as badass as Warduke as far as the design goes. So I probably won't buy that one, but I had to talk about how freaking cool that figure was.
Oh, he's cool. There was a figure released not too long ago of the female character,
Yeah,
Tigra, I think what it was.
yep.
And of course, as voluptuous as that figure is, it flew off. Pre-orders weren't gone. You couldn't get that figure. So I'm assuming that this one's going to be the same way because he's just too cool. Imagine
He
having
looks
him stand up
great.
next to
Like,
like He-Man and just Conan. Just it would be so awesome.
yeah, like Super Seven's doing some Conan figures.
Mhm.
They're a little bit cartoony. They almost don't look like they would belong, but something creeped out, and I don't remember the maker who's doing it, but there's another Conan figure coming that's like hyper deluxe, and you can change
And
him into like four different,
Conan or Conan Arnold Schwarzenegger?
not Arnold Conan, like
Not
based on
Arnold.
the classic look of Conan. I wish I had more on it, but I just saw one picture today, and there were like no details for price or I don't know who's releasing it, but um, the classic Conan looks from like the novel covers. You can take this one figure and put him in four different looks. So
Nice.
man, put that next to a Dark Wolf, and I'll tell you what, even just grab that Warduke from NECA and put them all on the shelf next to each other, and it'll make you want to sit down, close the
Watch sword and
blinds,
sorcery movies all night.
send your wife out with her friends so you can geek out and watch cartoons that are way too bouncy for their own good. Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Off of that topic, let's go
yes,
into. Did you catch the new Deadpool and Wolverine movie?
100% yes.
Okay.
Nicole was under the weather, and she was the driving force for getting us there on Thursday night to catch that.
So we did see that movie, and I have to say it's we don't normally talk about movies unless we're doing like the other part of our show. But I have to tell you, Deadpool and Wolverine, great movie, so many
Yeah.
cameos. I'm gonna have to watch it again because there's so much I missed. But what I didn't miss was the announcements of the Deadpool, Wolverine, and Wolverine figures.
Oh
So
yeah.
if you saw those, they are the Marvel Legends, and they look almost precisely like they do on the screen.
And they feature incredibly movie accurate costumes and
Yes.
alternate heads
Yep.
to not spoil the movie. Uh, it's happening when those things hit the shelves. I'm getting that
Yes. I have to.
the full costume Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. I can live without Deadpool, but
Oh,
yes, it was
I
terrific.
can't. If I get, I've got to get both of them now. It's a
Okay,
twofer. It's a
well,
twofer.
I mean, like you know what to expect. The
Yeah.
people criticizing it for being a little bit light in plot or whatever, like, dude, you watch Deadpool, you know what to expect.
Yeah. No.
This is so good. It's the best Deadpool movie, and we finally get a Hugh Jackman that's just like totally cut loose, being like
Yeah.
full tilt Wolverine. So
And I'm not even going to talk about the cameos that are in it because
no, no,
it's
no,
just
and it was
remarkable.
really, really good, despite some of the very horrible things that happened to some people in that movie.
Yes. Yes. All right. All right. I think we're coming at close. No, I think we got a couple more minutes. Were there any other
Yeah,
surprises?
yeah. There's one that I'm super in love with,
What do we got?
and it's a totally fly under the radar thing, and this might be a buy. It's
Okay.
it's a combination figure vehicle pack.
Okay.
It's the Mezco 5 points line. So Mezco is doing figures in 5 points of articulation, hyper like detailed sculpts, and they look awesome.
Okay. I missed this. What figures are
The
they?
one that I'm going to tell you the one that I just really like that I might get is the Beetlejuice one. Uh,
Okay.
Beetlejuice is coming in a couple of months,
Yep.
and NECA has got some great figures from that, and I may need that. So just a little background. I think these are about like 4-inch scale figures,
Okay.
because I've
And they're
never
just
seen them
five
on the
point.
shelves. 5 points of articulation, like Super 7, but they don't try to hit that throwback vibe of Super 7. They have a movie 89 Keaton and Batmobile combo coming that just like I don't what's the right term? Rocks my ass. It's like the
I don't know if that's a term, but you just coined it.
it is so freaking good. Like the sculpt is amazing. The Batmobile looks awesome as hell. Like I don't know if this is going to be like a $50 set. The figures are about 20, and
Mhm.
they've done some absolutely like killer Batman the Animated Series figures that
Mm.
they're like outstanding. They kind of remind you of the Kenner figures from the 90s, but they're better than that. They don't come with the wonky accessories, like all that stuff, but uh, this 89 Keaton Batman is so good, and it looks like it's cloth goods cape.
Ooh.
Looks like the Batmobile can fit two figures in it side by side. So
Oh, there's
um,
an upgrade for you.
we're 4-inch scale, so Batmobile will be like the size of a jumbo Wonder Bread loaf.
So maybe what, like 13, 14 inches?
Yeah, probably something like that. But dude, if they could come up with a Vicky Vale to go in
Ooh.
there, if they could do, like it's really tough. I don't think Jack Nicholson does his likeness for toys.
Oh, that's
But
too
could you
bad.
imagine if they had
That was a fun technical difficulty. Skip. Oh,
uh
wait.
I was just too like excited about this Mezco 5 points
Yeah.
Batman. But anyways, dude, look it up. You got to see it. It looks
So
so free.
I do think I remember seeing it, but didn't McFarlane announce some toys too? I thought I saw something about that.
I don't think there was anything pertinent to Batman. They might have shown off their what is it like Batman Forever figures,
Okay.
the Kilmer Batman, but there was nothing. I, dude, I'm waiting for them to show the Batman Returns figures. They've revealed the big ones, like the 18-inch or 24-inch figures, the gigantic ones that they do.
Right. Yeah.
But oh man, it's over. If I can get a Catwoman and
Oh no.
Penguin and that Batman Returns bat suit's my favorite bat suit out of all of them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Actually looks like armor instead of a bunch of stupid plastic muscles. So
True.
uh, I was kind of hoping they'd show them, but they didn't, that I'm aware of. They didn't do any drops for that. It was a lot of stuff that was coming. He did show a bunch of these 6-inch figures of little kids dressed up in those crappy plastic costumes from when we were little.
Oh, with the plastic over in the
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, did you see those?
No, I know I heard about them. I did hear about them. I
There's like two lines, and I saw those figures and was like, oh God, I sucked that bad at one point.
I still have a picture of me wearing the Yoda one. And that was from last year. No, just kidding.
Oh God.
No.
And you know that there's no kid our age, no person our age that didn't try to stick our stupid tongues out of the
Oh,
mouth
I
hole
know.
sliced on that plastic.
Then the nose holes and the little tiny
Yeah.
hole for the mouth, snapping it onto your face.
Oh,
And then,
oh,
and then
yeah.
the other one was like your breath would condense, so it would be like slimy on the inside.
Uh-huh. And I love that the costumes couldn't just like look like the Transformer. It had to say like Transformers on the
Yeah.
front, just in
Yeah, and it
case
would be like
anybody.
short, and you wear your long sleeves, and you got to, oh my gosh. And they,
Yeah.
we thought we were cool as hell wearing that. Come on.
Oh God, dude, I had a Megatron outfit that I wore until I like broke the seams apart on it.
Oh, good times, good times. Let's see, what other things were possibly revealed that I have in my brain?
They showed off Master Tetsu
Oh, for
from
NECA?
Turtles. Yeah.
Is it NECA? Okay, so
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
got
get a
like
Tetsu. All right.
some sneaker images, but he was shown like in full, and like you can just hear him grunting, or you can hear Casey Jones making fun of him and grunting when you see the figure. It's terrific.
I always think of him going, "Mm, go play."
And the guy couldn't even manage those lines. It had to be dubbed over.
Oh, no way, really?
Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
so yeah, lots of great stuff out of San Diego Comic Con. Obviously, we're not going to cover it all. There's just far too much to do. But it was a little tame on the Star Wars side. I don't think there was much cool
well,
that came out from
actually,
that.
there were quite a bit of reveals. It depends on what side of the Star Wars camp you're on. You're either in the we like it or we don't. It doesn't matter. They revealed some Acolyte figures. They revealed some Ahsoka figures. And they did a reveal of the video game The Outlaws, which is coming up.
Oh yeah, that I'm interested in that.
So there is some pretty Star Wars centric, pretty Star Wars heavy stuff coming up as well.
Yeah, but there wasn't anything that like made your world explode.
No, not really.
They didn't introduce the next HasLab Star Wars.
Yeah, I wonder why that would be.
Keeping quiet on that while G.I. Joe says hold my effing beer.
Just, think we can sell out in less than 12 hours this time? Nah.
Yeah.
No, like I said, it depends on it doesn't really matter where you're at in the Star Wars universe. There's still some things coming out for them. Even if you don't like them necessarily, the characters, the bodies are always pretty good, and they're good for customs, if nothing else, right? Like
You know,
you want to make some custom Jedi, they've got enough out there that you can make a new Jedi to your heart's content and just go crazy.
yeah, I'm not going to offer commentary on the series, but I will say that I did. It took like 4 of the 5 episodes or 4 of the 6 episodes in, and I actually did like the Sith guy that was in the
Oh yeah.
show. Other than that, well, what's next?
No. We'll see what's coming up for Star Wars. I mean, it's not going away anytime soon, but thank goodness neither is G.I. Joe or Transformers or Masters of the Universe. So that's my always been my big four. But Transformers has not been letting us down lately. So neither is G.I.
No,
Joe.
no,
So
and they've
our
got
childhood
BotCon and
is
stuff
going
coming
strong.
up. Yeah, so they did show a lot, but I mean they've got a specific Transformers dedicated convention to hit,
Yeah.
and they've got PulseCon that's coming up. So more to come there. I think that it's going to be a really good collector year.
Yeah, I think that, and they've been doing really good, uh, not focusing on any one era of Transformers, right? They've been giving us Michael Bay era. They've been giving us G1 era. They've been giving us animation era. And they've been kind of trickling them all in. Um, Instead of just like lumping, hey, we're just doing Beast Wars right now, or we're just they've been doing a really good job of being able to keep all of the Transformers films.
Yeah, this new line is probably the best idea they've ever had.
Yep. I will
And
say that
trans
the Transformer One characters that I've seen, and even some of the movie trailers, I've not seen the movie yet, but I am not opposed to it. It does look kind of interesting. I know that they're saying it is a new timeline or it's a new story for Transformers, so it's not going off of old stuff, or maybe it could connect in some way. But honestly, I don't know. I've heard some pretty good things about it, and
yeah,
I'm interested enough to go see it.
they've put this in front of a ton of test audience, and it's getting rave reviews.
Yeah,
And they're saying the tone is slightly different from what we think we're going to get in the trailer, and that it's a love letter to G1. Um, all I want is something that gets people engaged again, that
yeah,
cares about characters. So thank goodness we got something where it's just about the robots instead of a bunch of humans. Uh,
exactly. Yeah.
Reserve judgment, but I'm going to pay the money to go and watch it. I'm excited.
I just want to
Uh,
see how they make Megatron go from a buddy cop movie to an annihilating dictator. I want to know how they get there. Where's that jump happen?
eh, we'll see. I mean, it might be like a Marvel movie where it takes about 4 minutes of screen time and they flip flop, but like Anakin's fall to the dark side gag.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. It could be really good. Some of the lines I've seen, some of the things I've heard that people have been talking about it, and definitely the figures seem to be pretty high quality. Um,
they're
so
not bad. They're,
I have not been opposed to it, so we'll see what
yeah,
it all depends. I'll go get figures maybe if I really like the movie. That's really what I have to have a connection to something before I actually start looking at things like that.
yeah. My local Target has the full rollout of the figures, and the stuff that's for the little kids, and it's got the nicer, um, Voyager scale figures. I didn't buy it. Like normally I get the Optimus Prime. That the design is fine from this movie. It's just, uh, that one wasn't my jam. But trust me, plenty of Optimus Primes coming.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I know. We're we're lucky.
yeah.
We really can't complain about any of the toys that we get. I mean, we can probably say some offhand things, but ultimately, the fact that we're still getting toys,
I
uh,
know. Yeah, good, great to be a collector.
it is, and it actually is a good time to be an adult collector because they've been giving us enough of what we want that I'm happy with what I'm getting. So
Yeah, they're now saying that people our age are a bigger consumer of toys than preschoolers.
so.
Well, what the hell are you giving toys to preschoolers for? They belong in a museum.
It just means more for
One
me.
to keep in package, one to open and display and not touch. What are you giving a toy to a kid for? They're just going to play with it.
Yeah, they're gonna ruin it.
Hell's wrong with you?
Toys aren't for kids.
Hey, boy, I think we got it. I think we got her
Yep.
whipped there.
Yeah, I like I said before, there's a lot of other reveals that we probably didn't touch on. So if you saw one that you were really cool and be like, hey, why didn't you talk about this? Put it in the comments below. Maybe we'll talk about it. Uh, and if you did go to Comic-Con and you saw something there too, hey, let us know about it. I'd love to talk about what everybody saw and any of the new things coming out. So if you want to, you can hop on over on Facebook and see Steve for the Plastic Adventures toy community over there. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm the Toyman80s. And I like to engage with anybody who follows me there too. So we'll see you guys in the toy aisle.